Right. Peace, and blessings, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning. Haki Ami, the success scholar, the honorable Ron Asafo. Hope you are staying warm. January 16th, 2026. So I want to just talk a little bit because, I think it's really quick, but, I saw a video of Holcomb and Anton Daniels. They did a live stream together, and they were talking about different issues. And Anton said something about, first Corey said that he was kissing white people's behind, and Anton said that Corey was sucking black people's, and then it got into a discussion surrounding homosexuality and almost turned into a scuffle. They were yelling, talking about, we can step outside and we gonna call me, say I do this again. I mean, it just turned into a whole ninja mess. It was just like ridiculous. And it just made me think, these black men have to be around 50 years old, and they get a lot of views, and I assume that the algorithms, sort of just like how hip-hop is set up to attract the ignorance and for, calm, peaceful, mature-minded black men. And the algorithms are set up to keep many of us down and really repress. And so I just wanted to put it out there that, it should be a timeout for both of them if they aren't canceled. But also, I wanted to add to this discussion, if you, for instance, are a black man, and any black men, for instance, who are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they're still talking about fighting, there's a problem. There's a problem. I mean, I try to, think about what actually men should be doing, black men, how black men should be conducting themselves, and when, for instance, there may be a time for aggression, or when there may be a time to actually defend yourself, when, and what kind of men are out here actually engaged in violent behaviors or threats of violence, and when should someone be approached. Now, I can think of a couple of reasons that, somebody do something to a child, somebody abused a woman, or something to that effect where, somebody abused your daughter, somebody abused your niece, or something like that, or your sister, you may have to, unfortunately, step to some folks. It's real. Now, here's the thing. I feel that you have to use your mind first. You have to use your mind and know when it's appropriate to make a particular suggestion or a particular threat, right? Because, that can get a little, sketchy, because you threaten the right person. They got to think about their life, preserving their health, and you making wild threats, not realizing that somebody gonna come back at you, right? That's the law of the universe. That's the law of the streets. Somebody gonna come back at you. So I'm just saying, if there are some black men out here that's threatening people, just wantonly, is that the term? Irresponsibly. They need to be checked. They need to be isolated, right? We need to recognize that behavior, and to see where's the motivations coming from for making threats or getting ready to fight. Like, over in DC, brothers PKD, they had it. He did a black male adolescent syndrome. Many black men are walking around with a mindset of a teenager. They have a mindset of a teenager. They still thinking like they 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, you cannot be 60, 70 years old. And I just think about all the real black men I have around me, and none of them are like out here talking loud and talking about they want to fight somebody or they going to pull up on people. Like, this is so, people ask me, sometimes people like, why you don't have no social, but first and foremost, I'm making moves. Like, I can't be waiting around for, groups of brothers. Like, that's some teenage, like, college stuff. Like, you gotta have, like, like, I'm with my boys, my fraternity, sisters, I'm with my sorority. Like when you focus on what you need to do, you might do some community things, like with people, and do things for individuals, but ultimately, you moving, you working, you being productive, you studying, you trying to get your health in order. You don't have time to be like socializing with groups of men and y'all gonna make me stronger. Like, it's all kind of knowledge. I got all kinds of books that I need to be reading, and if we having a study group, maybe, but we gotta keep it on. We gotta keep it on code. We gotta be on point. We can't just be out here, just meeting. I'm gonna come meet with my brothers, and we're gonna hang out and kick it and watch football. And I mean, either you're doing some healing work, you're going to a spa, like, or something. Like, I mean, I don't go to spas with brothers, but that's the kind of things that I'm into. I'm into strengthening myself. I mean, I'm starting to, work out a little more. So that's the kind of brothers I need to be around, but also mature politically brothers, mature economically brothers, mature culturally brothers. It's not out here being insecure, hating on people, hating on each other, threatening people. And so, I say to anybody that affiliates and associates with people that are out here wilding out and being reckless, you need to, assess your network, assess the people that are around you, and you may have to isolate the crazies, right? Because if you're 50, 60, and 70 years old, I couldn't imagine there has to be a very, very, very sophisticated reason for me to actually want to check or to threaten. And I think about how I would have handled an interview like that. I probably would have de-escalated. Like, I mean now, so Daniels is like a big, like, anti-black, like, Negro. So I get him, him and Tommy Sotomayor, the types, they may get like a lot of heat in general, but again, like, what you want to do to them? Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You bring them on to talk, but like, I mean, you don't have to degrade them and say you kissing white behind, you kissing, like, just articulate your position, articulate what he's doing, and leave it at that. Like, who are you trying to? You're going to beat him up, like, you're going to assault him, and that's when a man just, like, let the punishment fit the crime. Like, let the punishment fit the crime. Like, he obviously has a problem with, black people. I mean, he's like a Jesse Lee Peterson. I mean, like, why are you even spending time talking to him? Like, what do you feel like you're going to get out of having a conversation with Anton Daniels? Like, what is this about? So that's what I wanted to bring out, y'all. I ain't gonna be long, but I just wanted to drop that because we have some of those in Baltimore, for instance. Some of these groups that allow for people just like that. They're reckless, and I mean, I'm delineating. I'm not like a FBA that delineates against African. I delineate against anybody that's not up to standard and up to code. So I'm not running around trying to find somebody to be on some drums with and talk about how we need to be African. Like I'm a little older. I read 100 books a year for 11 years, so I'm not like interested in some of these men that want to keep people at a intellectual baby level, right? And this is why I go to things like Brother Brada, World Traveling Scholar, and this is why I'm allowed to be in Dr. Runoko Rashidi's film, the global assignment. And this is why I strive to be around mature adult like black men that's providing for themselves, that's being productive, that's being healthy, so they're not insecure, so they're not jealous and envious of other brothers where they can willing to start like fights and things like that. So I'm just saying, that's where our brothers, like, let's cut some people off, let's kick some people to the curb, like let's kick them out of the communities, the hood bullies, the ghetto black men that's insecure, that want to bully people, that want to assault people, that want to threaten people, because that's all they can do, because they don't have no skills, talents, and abilities, and so they are resorting to hood dynamics. They're resorting to hood, ghetto, thug, things that they probably were a part of in their teenage years. And so after some years, there should be somewhere along the line, look, okay, if people want to call you weak or whatever, like, or that's like, most black men aren't interacting like that. Like, this is a highly technical, advanced society, but it's just people getting on internet, and they really don't deserve the audiences that they actually have. But the algorithms are so that probably they are pushing ninja-like behavior, if you get what I'm saying. They will promote, just like the whole rap music type of black men, the hood superstars, they will promote this kind of thing. So they will put that at the top and make it go viral, because they know that it's not wholesome, it's not good for the global black family to see two black men fighting. And so, and what you have to watch out for, I'm not saying it's them, but you have to watch out for people that are sent to create chaos, right? So they don't like this, like they don't encourage their young people to wear shirts like this. Like when you have a mature mind and a peaceful mind, you don't. He said, what happened? These fools, they call Anton Daniels and Holcolmb. They online. Corey Holcomb is a comedian, but these people get a lot of views. They get a lot of views, and they were online getting ready to fight. They about 50 years old, whatever that's what happened. And my point is, when you reach a certain age like them, look up these two names, Anton Evans, Corey Holcomb. People know him, but they're not like cultural conscious people, like they, but they get a lot of views, and a lot of people like listen to them, and a lot of people doing videos, clout chasing, trying to get views. So I'm like, well, let me just kind of critique them, and maybe the algorithms and people will see a civilized conversation about, like Harris once said, stop the beef, and, de-escalation tactics. So, you can't hear me? Oh, sure, let me see. My sound. So, mic check. Mic check. Okay. I know you got me. Mic check. Okay. All right. So I'm good. So that's the only thing that's going on. Like, I mean, one of them should have on like thousands, tens of thousands of views, and now they are, like, I mean, I don't, maybe it got pieced out, but a lot of people coming back. I would just hope that there should be some black men out here that, will say something. I mean, I probably wouldn't address, I never would mention either of them, but since, the algorithm is where it is, and, I'm feeling like you got to put a clean glass up to a dirty glass, and that was wild. I mean, and that's the thing, you don't talk to each other like that. You don't tell another black man, like, you suck such and such, you suck behind, you lick male penises. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. We don't do that. Adult black men do not do that. Let me just say it for the record. And I don't care whether anybody likes me or hate me or whatever, but we don't talk to each other like that. Somebody, a real sincere elder that has some a track record of peace and history, I mean, even if you did get into a scuffle once in your life, or a disagreement that got a little out of line, there has to be a time where you reflect on yourself and say, what did I contribute to a fallout? What did I contribute to a fallout? And so I have to just put it out there so that folks know I'm not ever getting into like any little dumb ass ghetto fights, like, at all. Like, and I hope that other black men that have some wisdom and maturity, that we don't fall into some of these, like, I ain't gonna say this COINTELPRO, but it could mimic these things, and it's just ghetto stuff that you hear people in the streets shooting each other over, like, I mean, like, when does it end? Like, when do you get like an age in your life where you just like, man, I'm not like, I can't be out here fighting anybody or getting into these types of skirmishes on that level. It got to be, like I said earlier, it got to be something serious. Somebody molest your child, somebody molest somebody beat your cousin, somebody beat your sister, somebody assaulted a sister, somebody threatened somebody, it got to be something serious that I'm gonna, like raise up, or think I'm gonna raise up. Because hopefully, and here's the thing, hopefully mature sisters won't put you in a position, will not put you in a position where you could possibly go to jail over some dumb stuff. Like, man, like, people need like a life, really, truly. So I just wanted to put it out there, man. So I'm not debating anybody, for instance, in Baltimore at any time no more. Like, I got bigger things going on in my life as well. So, I just want to, put that out there, of course, but if they don't get canceled, they need a damn short time out. And they should come and apologize. They should come and apologize for what could have happened. Like, all it took is for one of them to start swinging, and that would have been just so embarrassing for some adult. Like, man, I did something earlier, and like when Brother Reggie Curl died, I called him out, man. Yo, I grew up with him. And he's like 50 years old. He was still 50 years old, coming on smoking weed every single day. So, and I know people don't want to spend a lot of times talking about this because it's so rare. It's so rare. I don't want to make it seem like black men are out here popping off, acting like this all the time. It's very rare, and maybe I shouldn't not have spent this much time on it. But somewhere along the line, somebody and people doing all kind of 3-hour commentaries. This black lawyer dude did a 3-hour breakdown of it. I'm like, damn, y'all really into this damn YouTube stuff? Like, I mean, it's not they're not that important, like, to me, but they're important enough that a lot of people are looking and popping videos and doing reaction videos and showing. I'm like, man, y'all just, I mean, so I wanted to come my point and be like a reasoning de-escalation type of brother to bring some type of common sense knowledge to this discussion. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm out, man. I gotta go get an oil change and pick up some lunch and keep building. I'm gonna do one more video. I gotta talk about this other thing. So peace and blessings, y'all.